For centuries, the mysterious story of Atlantis has captured the imagination of philosophers, adventurers, and historians alike. First told by the ancient Greek philosopher Plato, Atlantis is said to have been an advanced civilization that ruled vast portions of the world before being wiped out in a single catastrophic event. But what really happened to Atlantis? Was it a real place or simply a moral tale created by Plato to warn against hubris? Let's dive deep into this mystery and explore the story in full detail. Plato's account of Atlantis, a lost empire. The legend of Atlantis originates from Plato's dialogues Timaeus and Critias, written around 360 BCE. According to Plato, the story of Atlantis was passed down from Solon, a Greek statesman and lawmaker who traveled to Egypt. While in Egypt, Solon spoke with the priests who told him of a great civilization that existed 9,000 years before their time. This civilization, Atlantis, was located beyond the Pillars of Hercules, what we now call the Strait of Gibraltar. Atlantis was described as an incredibly advanced civilization, far beyond what the ancient world had ever seen. It was a large island or continent, rich in resources, with fertile land and advanced technology. The Atlanteans were said to possess knowledge that included electricity, flying machines, and transportation systems that modern-day humans can only imagine. Some theories even suggest that Atlantis may have had aircraft resembling UFOs. The story according to Plato, the rise and fall of Atlantis. Plato's account describes Atlantis as a utopia ruled by the god Poseidon, who fell in love with a mortal woman named Cleito. Poseidon built an enormous palace for Cleito on a hill in the center of Atlantis, surrounded by concentric rings of water and land. The palace and city were fortified by walls of gold, silver, and bronze. Together, Poseidon and Cleito had 10 sons, and the eldest, Atlas, became the ruler of Atlantis, giving the Atlantic Ocean its name. Atlantis thrived for many generations under the rule of Poseidon's descendants. The people were said to be wise, virtuous, and lived in harmony with nature. The Atlanteans were not only wealthy, but also possessed a high level of technology, which they used to build magnificent temples, harbors, and an intricate network of canals for transportation and agriculture. Atlantis's corruption and the wrath of Zeus. As their power grew, the Atlanteans became greedy and corrupt. They began to lose their moral compass, focusing more on conquering others than on maintaining their noble way of life. They launched invasions across the Mediterranean, including attempts to conquer Egypt, North Africa, and parts of Europe. But their greatest challenge came when they tried to invade Athens, which, according to Plato, was a land of virtue and strength. The Athenians, despite being outnumbered, defeated the mighty Atlantean forces. After this defeat, the Atlanteans' greed and corruption reached their peak, and the gods decided to punish them. According to Plato, Zeus, the king of the gods, convened a council of gods to decide the fate of Atlantis. Though Plato's dialogue Critias breaks off before Zeus delivers his judgment, other myths suggest that he unleashed a massive earthquake or flood that caused Atlantis to sink beneath the ocean in one day and one night, erasing it from the face of the earth forever. Many researchers have drawn parallels between the story of Atlantis and ancient Egypt. The Temple of Abydos in Egypt contains hieroglyphs that some believe depict advanced technologies, including helicopters, submarines, and flying machines. These mysterious carvings have fueled speculation that survivors from Atlantis may have fled to Egypt after their homeland was destroyed, bringing with them advanced knowledge and technology. This could explain why Egyptian civilization achieved such rapid advancements in architecture, astronomy, and engineering. Moreover, there are ancient Egyptian legends about a time before the pharaohs known as Zep Tepi, or the first time, when gods ruled the earth. Some scholars believe this era could correspond to the survivors of Atlantis, who passed down their knowledge to the Egyptians. The Nazi fascination with Atlantis. Another surprising twist in the story of Atlantis is its connection to Nazi Germany. Adolf Hitler and some members of his inner circle were fascinated by the idea of Atlantis. They believed that the Aryan race had originated from Atlantis and that it was a lost homeland of pure, advanced beings. Heinrich Himmler, one of Hitler's top officials, even sponsored archaeological expeditions to find evidence of Atlantis, hoping to prove that the Nazis were the rightful heirs to this ancient civilization. These efforts, however, were unsuccessful, and no definitive proof of Atlantis was ever found by the Nazi regime. Theories about Atlantis's location. Over the centuries, numerous theories have emerged about where Atlantis might have been located. Here are some of the most popular: the lost continent theory. Some researchers believe that Atlantis was a massive landmass in the Atlantic Ocean that sank after a catastrophic event, such as a volcanic eruption or earthquake. The Bermuda Triangle theory. Others suggest that Atlantis is hidden beneath the Bermuda Triangle, a region notorious for the mysterious disappearance of ships and planes. Proponents of this theory claim that underwater structures and roads discovered in this area may be the remnants of Atlantis. The Antarctica theory. Another theory suggests that Antarctica was once home to Atlantis. Around 12,000 years ago, a dramatic shift in the Earth's crust could have moved the continent to the South Pole, burying Atlantis under miles of ice. The Platonic allegory theory. Some scholars argue that Atlantis was never a real place, but rather an allegory created by Plato to illustrate the dangers of hubris and moral decay. Evidence supporting the existence of Atlantis. While many skeptics believe that Atlantis is purely a myth, there are several intriguing pieces of evidence that suggest it may have existed. Ancient maps. Some ancient maps, including the famous Peary Race map, depict islands in the Atlantic Ocean that no longer exist today. Some researchers believe that these maps may show Atlantis before it sank beneath the ocean. Underwater walls. In the depths of the Atlantic Ocean, researchers have discovered underwater walls and structures that stretch over 120 kilometers. Some believe these could be remnants of the lost civilization of Atlantis. Gulf Stream anomaly. The Gulf Stream, a major ocean current, is known to divide at a certain point in the Atlantic, and some researchers speculate that this could indicate the presence of a submerged landmass, potentially Atlantis. Discoveries in southern Spain. Archaeological findings near southern Spain have revealed the remains of a circular city, which closely matches Plato's description of Atlantis. Satellite images have shown ancient ruins that align with the circular layout mentioned in Plato's dialogues. The Bermuda Triangle discoveries. In recent years, underwater explorers have discovered pyramid-like structures beneath the waters of the Bermuda Triangle, which some believe could be linked to Atlantis. Secrets hidden beneath the Sphinx. One of the most intriguing theories connecting Atlantis to ancient Egypt involves the Sphinx. According to some researchers, there is a hidden chamber beneath the Sphinx that contains records or artifacts from Atlantis. Using radar technology, Explorer.